Okay, underground aquifers. Now we got underground water, and it's everywhere. It's just that in some places there's more than others, some places it's a lot shallower than other places. And again, the states have some regulation over the amount of water that gets pumped out of these underground aquifers. They're pretty much designated by the geological formations underground. They're going to determine layers that water will sit in. So if we have a ground surface, and down underground a ways, there is a layer of rock. What is going to happen is water is going to percolate down through the ground, hits this rock layer, it can't go anywhere. So we have a barrier. Now, in all cases, these are going to, in this part of the world, there's always a gradient to that rock layer. It's always moving downhill. So there'll be a slope to this thing. We'll make sure there's a little slope to it. So as that water is coming down and accumulating on this rock surface, it's moving downhill. So it's heading downhill at a very slow rate. Whatever the permeability of the ground is how fast it's going to move, and according to the hydraulic gradient that's put on it. So in here, there's going to be a water table. It's going to have a slight up to it. It's not going to always be, if this were a few miles long, that water table sits above that rock layer, and there's always a little gradient, so it doesn't always sit at exactly the same level. It might have a little drop in the, as we're going downhill, the water table is going to dip a little too. But this will become then the water table. And all of this below is saturated, full of water. Chock-a-block full of water. So we have all kinds of water sitting down here, trapped between the rock and above, and so we have this water that's available to be used. So what do? We come in here and we punch a well. Down into that area. Put a pump in there, and we can pump water out of that area. We just have to make sure we get our well deep enough that it gets below the water table. And we instantly have availability to water at our property. Now, it's not quite that easy. You must get a permit to drill that well through the Department of Ecology. Your neighbors have the right to complain about it. You're guaranteed accessibility to water for a half acre and a home site. So anybody out here that wants to build a house in the county, if they have the right zoning to go ahead and build the house, they are guaranteed the right to go ahead and drill a well to pump water to supply their house and irrigate 1/2 acre. They might have had to buy 20 acres to build a house on. The zoning might be one house for every 20 acres, but they're not going to be able to go out and punch an irrigation well and water all 20 acres with their house. They only get 1/2 acre in the state of Washington per house for irrigation for a lawn. The rest of it you'd have to then apply for an irrigation well permit instead of a domestic well permit. Okay, two designations there. That is still considered domestic use to water your lawn. So your house and your lawn are domestic. That's a right that everybody has when you go out and put in a well or build a house. You can drill a well. Yes.
Why would your neighbors complain?